are picking up where we left off. Yesterday we had just finished our experiment, and we learned that several things that we like to eat or drink are acidic. We tested some random things. We tested
mayo, lemonade.
We tested lemonade. We tested ketchup. We tested mustard, baking powder, baking soda. We learned that baking soda could help us decide if something was acidic because it makes it bubble.
We learned that purple liquid could.
The purple liquid, which was cabbage water, could help us tell if something was an acid because it made it change color. Okay. The baking powder really didn't help us because it gave a reaction to both. But we did find out then, we were able to use those things and find out that the ketchup, the mustard, and the lemonade were all acidic. They all bubbled. The lemonade changed color slightly. And the name of this lesson was what happens if you drink acid. Well, then everybody in class, I had a big picture, sorry for you virtual friends, but I know you've had lemonade before.
Wait, Miss Babb, I just remembered a really kind of weird fact about like lemonade and all things that are sour. It's actually because of their acidic property that it actually makes it sour, because it has like a tingly feeling on your tongue because it's kind of like breaking it down. So
okay.
If you left it on
the video talked about that acids all have a somewhat sour flavor, and depending on how strong the acid is, I think affects how sour it tastes, or different types of acid.
Wait, do they put acid in Warheads?
Different, yes, Warheads candy would be acidic. Anything that has a sour taste is going to test acidic.
Like Cry Babies and Sour Patch Kids and stuff?
Sour Patch Kids, yes. All of that. Now, just dumping baking soda on a Sour Patch Kid, since it's not a liquid, I don't think would do it. I think you would have to find a different way to test it, since it's a more solid food.
Have to melt the sugar.
Okay.
And whatever.
Yeah, you would have to somehow melt the candy, I think, and then mix it with. So what would happen if you drank acid? Turns out we all drank some lemonade yesterday afternoon here in class, but I know virtual kids, you guys have all had lemonade before, I'm sure. And so we know that it's sour flavored. And what happened when we drank acid yesterday was, I think we were all a little bit happy to have a glass of lemonade. And it made our tummies happy. Might have given us a little bit of heartburn, some of us, old people, heartburn. But for the most part, we were happy. Now, if we were to drink that sulfuric acid they showed on the video yesterday, we would be
happy.
We would not be happy. Our stomachs and our intestines would melt like that burger in the video yesterday.
We would not be sad. We wouldn't even be content. We would be dead.
We would be dead. Very much so. Now, so what happens if you... So the question, what happens if you drink an acid? It really depends on which acid and how strong it is. We learned that they all have certain properties in common. They melt or eat away at things. They taste sour. Some of them react faster than others. It just depends on their strength. So we learned that each type of thing has its own properties. Now, was water acidic?
Yeah.
No.
If it was
Water is neutral. Now, the one thing that Doug doesn't talk about, that I'll tell you about, is there is something that has the opposite effect as an acid, that is actually kind of calming and less reactive. And it does have its own reactions in different ways, but nothing like explosive, like we see like the acids and the bubbling. But the opposite of an acid is actually called a base.
Non-acid? Yeah.
Non-acid. A base is the word for that. Doug never talks about that, but I wanted to just give you guys a little heads up. You'll learn more about that when you get Danby or high school. I'm not sure when that gets introduced. But the opposite of an acid is a base. Water is exactly in the middle. It's neutral. It doesn't have any acidic properties, and it doesn't have any base properties. But if you think about it, have you guys ever in your pool, those of you that have been to a pool or whatever, like they measure the pH of the water.
I do it.
And you have like a little test strip you dump in the water, and it gives you like a little color.
Yeah.
And then you know if you need to add chlorine or add the thing that takes some chlorine out or whatever.
I could look at water.
Chlorine is acidic. You want your pool water to be a little bit acidic so that it kills all the germs and bacteria that are naturally out there from being outside in the environment and from tons of people getting in and out of the water. Okay? So you want your pool water to be slightly acidic. Obviously not acidic like the acids in the video that burn you.
Stabilizer.
But the opposite of that, think about what's something, if you eat a hot pepper, what's something you can drink that calms your mouth down? Milk. Guess what? Milk is a base. Milk is the opposite of an acid. Milk and most dairy products are bases because they calm things down.
Is it
Okay?
cheese?
They have the opposite reactions of acid.
Is cheese base?
I
Look it up, please.
Is cheese a base?
And then
This time, if you put sulfuric acid in baking soda, would it blow up like even more than vinegar?
Basic cheese is actually acidic.
Wow.
Wait,
Wait, is there something that's
What?
acidic and base?
are not acid producing, they're not acidic. Okay, milk and other dairy foods are not. I think it thought I was asking about basic cheese. I don't know what basic cheese. Okay,
Miss Bam.
Basically,
basic cheese is acidic. That doesn't make any sense.
Miss Bam.
Basic cheese. Is a banana base?
I think a banana's a base.
Miss Bam, a weird thing. An apple. Like
Don't
lemonade and stuff that
Is
is
meal loving and acid.
citrus and stuff like that. That also.
Not acidic. Bananas are basic, not
Hey,
acidic.
Miss
All right.
Miss Bam.
Okay.
I like.
Is there one that's an acidic and a base at the same time?
Miss Bam.
Because they're kind of like opposites. Like you can't be light and dark at the same time. You can't be white and black at the same time. You can't.
I have
Like the
racism.
opposite.
Yeah, you can't.
I was talking about actual colors.
I'm talking about the practically that the
Okay.
said you can't be white and black at the same time.
You can't
You
be.
can be mixed.
Then you be
And
gray.
Cows.
I'm talking about actual colors.
Oh, you can paint one side white, one side brown.
Miss Bam. Cows can be white and black at the same time.
You can go in the hall if you want. I don't find you funny. I don't find you funny.
Miss
I got two
Bam.
colors, one right here and one right here.
I have a fun.
All right, Josie, go ahead. Thank you for raising your hand.
I want to know, I think my dad said something about if you put pool chlorine in with like gas, it blows up.
It does, I think.
That might be true. I have no idea, but I would trust your dad on that, and I would not do it. Sounds like pool chlorine's pretty strong, and gasoline definitely causes big explosions. So I would not personally mix those things. If you guys don't stop talking when I'm talking, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Miss Bam.
We have like this thing we do when we want to talk in class. You've been doing it since kindergarten. Looks like this.
Really?
I don't know how you guys don't know that I'm not joking anymore. All week long, the boys have not stopped. And it's not all the boys. Parker, you're really not being a problem. Grayson's not a problem. Mostly Kane's not a problem. Sean has been good as gold back there all week long. Some of you are driving me nuts because you will not stop and you think that this is the comedy hour, and it is not. This isn't your show, and this isn't your show. We're here to learn, the rest of us are, and you guys are being a big distraction. It's driving me nuts, and this is your last warning, and I'm going to eat up all your recess. I'm not even going to do 5 minutes. I'm skipping that because I'm tired of talking about it. Is that clear? Cool. Sorry I had to waste everybody's time with that.
That's fine.
Okay. Here we go. So, DJ, your hand is raised. Yes, sir.
I have like a fun fact about peppers that's also kind of weird. Actually, lemonade temporarily actually helps. Like if you just keep it there after eating a hot pepper, then it actually helps.
Helps what?
helps like keep down the heat, but it only does it while it's there, then immediately comes back after you swallow it. It's like a weird thing.
Okay, interesting. Sophie.
Here's the bathroom.
Yes. Josie.
So is ketchup and mustard acids?
Yes. They bubbled yesterday when we
That's
dumped.
what I put on my worksheet, but I wanted to make sure.
Yes. Yes, they are. They are acids. Everything we tested yesterday, like after the fact, after we figured out which the control things were, the ketchup, the mustard, and the lemonade were all acidic. So now Zeke.
Is gasoline an acid?
Yes.
Yes.
If you drink it, like you die.
I think so. Okay.
It does.
All right, guys, we are going to move on now. We're going to see what Doug has to say to wrap this up.
So what would happen if you drank a glass of acid? When you first heard this question, you might have assumed that acid only means a strong reactive substance that would be dangerous to get on your skin, or especially to drink. That definitely describes the strong acids, like sulfuric acid and nitric acid. But the reality is that you probably drink or eat at least a little acid every day. I mentioned that at least 2 weak acids can be found in your kitchen, vinegar and lemon juice. But you might not have known how many different places the weak acids pop up in your life. Both of these weak acids are used for their sour taste, a property of all acids. Vinegar is a major ingredient found in most salad dressings, as I mentioned earlier, but also in ketchup. And that's not all. Look on the label of any food product you have. Find the ingredient list and you can check for vinegar, or sometimes it's given by its scientific name, acetic acid. You'll see vinegar is a major ingredient, not just in ketchup, but also in mustard, and sometimes it's used in mayonnaise. And guess what happens when you take a cucumber and leave it soaking in vinegar? Well, that's what we call a pickle. Pickles are cucumbers that have been soaked in acetic acid, in vinegar. That's what gives pickles their sour taste. So you eat and drink acetic acid all the time. But what about citric acid, lemon juice? As you can guess from the fact that citric acid is found in lemon juice, it occurs naturally in lemons, and these are used to give a sour flavor to lots of things, including not just lemonade, but drinks like Kool-Aid as well. But lemons aren't the only food that contains citric acid. Oranges, limes, and grapefruits do too. If you drink a glass of orange juice, you're drinking a glass that contains acid. It's just a weak acid, one that tastes good and doesn't cause you any harm. Now, besides having the property of tasting sour, you observed in the activity how acids also have the property of reacting with baking soda. Whenever an acid comes into contact with baking soda, it starts fizzing violently. This reaction turns out to have some usefulness, actually. So next time you have lunch or dinner, drink a glass of acid, and eat some too, for good measure. Stay curious and see you next mystery.
Okay, we're going to go all the way back in your science folder or wherever you put this so important document so that you wouldn't lose it, and find the See, Think, Wonder chart we started at the beginning about the gargoyles. Okay, find that chart, See, Think, Wonder chart. Virtual friends, it was something about how did gargoyles disappear or something. I think it was saved in your draft somewhere. Maybe.
Yeah, it's called Chemical Magic Disappearing Gargoyles.
Okay. So you are going to be looking. It's at your house. That's a great place for it. So grab a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper, and you'll have to write down. Do you have any new questions that you wonder now that we've seen this mystery? Think about the gargoyles. Okay, Lily's holding it up if you're not sure what I'm talking about. And have any of the questions, look at your questions if you had anything that you wondered on there. Was there anything you wondered about the gargoyles disappearing that has been answered by this lesson? So get out, you'll have to find somewhere in your desk in the folder where you save important things. the See, Think, Wonder chart. Can somebody hold it up so Soph knows what we're talking about?
Okay. See, Think, Wonder.
That thing. We did it with the disappearing gargoyles. If you don't have it, you're going to have to just use another piece of paper off to the side. You won't be able to see if any of your questions have been answered yet. But you can write if this makes you wonder, okay, if acids have the property that melt things or eat things away, how does that come into play with the gargoyles? Think about that in your head. If you don't say it out loud, this is for you to think about. And put those notes down on your chart. Also the chart, how could the acid, and again, these are thoughts that you are thinking of on your own and adding to your chart. But the question it's now asking you is, can you think of a way that an acid could get on the gargoyle to eat it away?
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 don't talk out loud about it. Write it on your chart. How could the properties of an acid come into play with the gargoyle? How could acid get on the gargoyle, and how would the acid affect the gargoyle? Write that on your chart. So again, we're learning that every type of matter out there, matter is everything, and every type of matter out there has its own properties that makes it react in a certain way. This week we learned about the properties of the type of matter we call acids. Okay, so properties of matter, specifically properties of acid this week. How could acids have affected the gargoyle, and how could acid even get on a gargoyle? Because remember, these gargoyles are usually up very, very tall on the building, not where somebody could reach them. So I'm not asking you to talk out loud about it. I'm wanting you to just write it on your chart. So those of you with your hands raised, if you are answering this question, I don't want to hear the answer. I want everybody writing it on their own on their paper. Sam.
I saw a gargoyle.
You saw a gargoyle in real life?
Yeah. There was one we were walking down like Zeke Street, and then we saw a gargoyle.
You saw a gargoyle on Zeke Street? On Greek Street?
Yeah.
All right, DJ.
Can I just say, like, no, I don't think we can get up there?
What? You can write whatever you want on it. It's your chart.
I was just wondering if, like, I could say I don't think so.
You don't? Okay. So you write that. Kane.
One time I was walking to this old city, and I saw some people out there like standing around playing poker, and I looked over and it was like a gargoyle eroded and fell off.
A whole gargoyle had like eroded so much it fell off?
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of people were standing around it. One guy was like gonna call like some people like playing up or something.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, Kane was in an old town somewhere, and literally, like, not long before they were walking by, a gargoyle eroded so much it fell down, and so there were a bunch of people standing around, like, checking it out. All right. So make some notes. All right. You should also still have this sheet somewhere that has the different alchemists we talked about. And we're on mystery 3. What would happen if you drank a glass of acid? So in this row here, the mystery 3 row, look at each of these alchemists and see if anything matches. I think the stone just gets really old and decays and falls apart. Could knowing about acids make Hermes right or wrong?
I think it'd be wrong.
You think it makes Hermes wrong? Why?
Because it would decay, but you would have to have something.
Is it decaying because it's old, or is there something else making it decay?
Something else.
Okay. So maybe Hermes isn't as smart as we thought. Poor Hermes. Okay.
Yeah,
Robert, I think that a substance reacts with the stone and turns it into different materials. Okay. So acid maybe reacts with the stone in some way, but does it turn it into a different material? Okay. Mary says, I think that the stone reacts with water and air, which creates rust on top of it.
Yes.
And Zosimos, water washes over the stone, making it disappear, and it doesn't exist anymore.
No. Robert, you're incorrect.
Okay. So make notes about, does acid come into play, and how does acid affect Hermes' opinion? How does acid affect Robert's opinion? How does acid affect Mary's opinion? And how does acid affect Zosimo? If it doesn't affect them, just put no.
I don't have it.
Okay, if you don't have this, hopefully you can just remember it or write it on a blank piece of paper, maybe on the back of your see, think, wonder, whatever that chart was, because you should have saved both of these. I'm not sure I have extras at this point.
Oh, you missed them.
Josie, yes, ma'am.
I want to know, is like cleaning supplies, is that acidic?
Is what acidic?
Cleaning supplies?
Probably. Most cleaning supplies have some sort of acid in them, probably.
Yeah, to kill bugs and stuff.
Yeah, acids are pretty common. We use acids in a ton of things, cleaning products. We use the weak ones because of their sour flavor. The strong ones kill germs and bacteria. So yes, they are commonly used in cleaning products. And then we're going to talk later about some other properties that acids have that do even more than just have sour flavor and kill germs and bacteria.
Is there one that can make water explode?
Something that makes water explode?
Wow.
No.
Are we gonna be making a volcano eruption thing? Maybe real soon?
Maybe.
I just had a text to media connection because there's a YouTube series I watched, and one of the characters was a rock, and he can puke vomit, and one other character always says, "I told you they love salt and vinegar." And one time he was shaking him up, and he produced like really powerful acid, and I just I just made a text connection with this. That must have been like a more powerful acid because I.
Okay. Possibly. All right. Has everybody made their notes?
Yes.
Yep. Miss Fab.
All right. That is the end of this one. We have a little quizzy quiz that goes with this. I do believe, hang on, let me make sure that you guys have it assigned to you.
We do.
Okay. Yes, end of mystery assessment. Let there be light. Okay. All right, so end of mystery assessment, that's what you're working on now. If you get done early, before time is up, work on any unfinished work or read AR. This is the end. We're halfway through fourth quarter. So this is midway, which means you guys should be ideally at least 50% of your AR goal.
I'm done with my AR.
I can update you guys.
Tell us our goals.
I'm updating you right now. Hi, why are you right here?
I'm trying to ask you,
What are you asking?
can I pass out the end of mystery assessment?
Miss Fab.
Yes.
Oh, I remember what they were asking. What was the first book we read? Was it tough?
DJ, I do have an extra one of these if you wanted to put some notes on it.
I need one too.
Oh, Miss Bab. Could we, like, whenever you get on AR, could we see, because we didn't get to do the reading rewards, how many words we have for the quarter? And then we can
I'm not sure where to find that, Josie, so I'm going to have to ask Miss Watson where to find that. Pages read or words read. I'm not sure, so I'll have to ask because I don't know if I have that report. All right, Zeke is at 33% of his goal, so he's going to kick it up a notch. Maggie's already there at 193. Josie's at 98% of her goal, so she's pretty much there. Hang on, just take a step back for right in a second so they can hear me. Sean is at 57%, so he's right on track. He's got another 50% to go. Kendall's at 70%. DJ's at 95%. He's almost there. Kane's at 75. He's on track. Lily's at 51%. She's on track. Grace, she's not ours anymore, 55%. Kaylee, 55%. Kaylin, only 10%. She's going to kick it up a notch. Parker, 104%. Good job. Macy's at 55%. She's right on track. Grayson at 76%. On track. Riley, 79. Sam, 66. Jason, 49. All you guys are on track. Lucas, slightly behind at 41%. Fiona, 55%. Cam, 206%. Sophie, 41%. Okay, so most of you are in close to Zeke at 30, Kaylin at 10%. You are the main ones I am worried about right now. So make sure you are focusing on AR. So like I said, for today, we are done. Other than you guys got to finish your quiz. It's only 3 questions. And then you are going to work on reading AR for the rest of our science time today, unless you have unfinished work, and you will do that first. Oh, and if you're not done with the Holocaust worksheet here in class, you can work on that as well. All right, that's what I got. Everybody get busy, and then I will see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye, babe.